Hi everyone, I'm Adrian Ramos here at AARP Maryland, bringing you another fun and delicious cooking demo with our friend Chef Christine Christine
Hey!
Van Bloom. We are very excited to announce that we will be holding several of these sessions throughout 2021, again with Chef Christine Van Bloom, where Christine will be bringing us great recipes and tips for eating well to take care of yourself through the pandemic and beyond. Welcome, Christine. Welcome back, of course.
Hey, Adrian.
Um, Hi, how's it going?
It's going great. So happy to be here.
Yeah, great to. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're here, and I'm looking forward to the more sessions going forward. I hear we have a delicious shrimp dish on deck today.
Yeah. So I am trying to go healthy,
Hmm.
fast, because I have so much going on. No
Right,
one during all
right.
this madness. But
Hmm.
I am just not into spending a million hours in the kitchen right now. I don't have it in me. So I
Hmm.
wanted to do something healthy, fast, and really tasty. So we're going to do a sheet pan shrimp fajita. Now, have
Ooh.
you done any of the sheet pan meals, Adrian?
I have not. I have not done this yet. I've like been doing a lot of one pan work, like cooking it all in the same pan, and that's been
Yeah,
like going well. So I'm very interested
perfect.
to hear about this. But I did hear
Same
that this
idea.
is like I heard that this is something perfect for like I think for twos or like couples.
Yep.
I think
Yep.
that it might be great for our caregivers. I think that if they're just trying to cook for themselves and their person they're trying to caregive for.
Yeah, and there's I now that the kids have flown the coop and it's my husband and myself here in the house, it's
Hmm.
like I don't want to do the big productions that I would sometimes do because
Hmm.
it's just us. And I know when you're one person caring for someone else or it's just a couple, it gets tiring to try to make a big meal for just yourself. I mean, I just will run out and pick something up. And that's just not where I want to be right now. So I
Hmm.
thought I would show you guys, no joke, this will come together 15 minutes, start to finish. You can
Wow.
modify if you like, but we're going to do the whole thing on a sheet pan, on one sheet pan. So your one pot meals, which I
Hmm.
love,
Yeah.
this is perfect. This is
Hmm.
perfect. So if you're going to cook along with me today, here's
Right.
what I need you to do. I want you to turn your ovens to 450 degrees. Let me just pull this up real quick. I want you to turn your oven to 450 degrees because I'll tell you, for this one, we want it hot. We want to get it going. And our shrimp don't take that long to cook. Shrimp are
Hmm.
great because it just goes
In fact.
fast. I keep a bag of frozen shrimp in my freezer almost all the time because I just pull out what I need. I never have to worry about them going south, the whole thing.
Hmm.
All right,
Nice.
so let's start. Of course, it's fajitas. I mean, I remember when they carried the whole sizzly plate through the restaurant, right? And if it was
Yeah.
coming to your table, you were
Yeah.
horrified.
Hmm.
So this will be a little different. No sizzle plates here, but we're going to take some green bell pepper and some red bell pepper because that's what I was feeling today. And
Hmm.
I'm going to do just a little bit here. Now, I'm just making my own lunch today. So if you
Nice.
guys want to cut it back a little or do something, that's totally okay. But we're going
Hmm.
to take that pepper and cut it into strips. Now, listen,
Nice.
I don't want this to be too fat or
Hmm.
too skinny. It's the
Right on.
Goldilocks of bell peppers. So they're probably about a quarter inch thick. We want
Hmm.
them so that they'll cook quickly. They won't burn, but they won't still be tough. So I'm just going to throw that over there. I'm going to do the same thing here. Get my red bell pepper.
Hmm.
And
We
oh,
sorry.
this
We
is
have
good stuff.
one
Go
comment
ahead.
in the chat.
Yeah, give
We
it to
have
me.
yeah, no problem. Joy Hall says that she loves sheet pan fajitas. It's such a quick meal to make after a long day of work.
That's
I
it.
hope
It's so, and
it
you
sounds
can
about
dress
true.
them up. You can
Dress them
dress
up.
them up or you can take them and have them be as naked as you want them to be. All right,
Nice.
so I've got some, and I like I said, I'm just going to do a little. So I
Hmm.
have some red and green bell pepper, and I'm going to tell you this: if you're cooking for one or two people, the little sheet pans, I'm going to show you one in a minute. It's called a
Hmm.
quarter sheet,
Hmm.
and this is the one I just showed you. That's a half sheet pan. That comes from restaurant terms, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But The quarter sheets, I have found, I'm kind of embarrassed. It took me so long to get working with those,
Hmm.
but I have found that those are perfect for my husband and myself, and they fit in the dishwasher too. I know, I'm so
That's major
lazy.
key. No, that's
It
major
is.
key. Yeah.
I know.
It's.
I'm like the little things that in the past year, I'm like, ugh, about,
Hmm.
that's one of them.
Hmm.
So I want to show you the way that I'm going to do this onion. I never take the root end off of an onion ever
Hmm.
unless I'm slicing it. So
Gotcha.
what I did, I cut it through the root and then I took the root and the head off of it. So I have this
Hmm.
nice piece right here. And then
Hmm.
there are lines on an onion. We're just going
Hmm.
to cut along those lines. And we're going to cut them about the same size, maybe even just a little thinner than our peppers. And when you get to the
Hmm.
corner and you're like, oh, it's too much, just tip it down and then you can get back in there.
Perfect.
And the reason we do it this way is the way they'll cook is really nice for us. And you don't end up with those really long pieces of onion, some really short, some really long. It's a
Hmm.
little more even here.
Right.
So I'm just going to take some of this and
Okay.
throw it on my board.
Perfect. Nice.
All right.
We have a few more comments in the chat. That's
Give them
okay.
all to me and feel free to
Yes.
interrupt. I love the
Okay.
comments. It's my
Well, yeah,
favorite
well,
part.
I'm trying to kind of also take notes. So that line with the onion thing is something that I am actually gonna do on my own. So for sure.
It is.
So yeah. So somebody says, so I'm not a big fan of peppers. Can you suggest some alternatives?
Sure. So if you're not a fan of peppers, I mean, fajitas may not be the dish for you, but if you're not a fan of peppers, let's just mix it up. What do you love? We're going to go off a little crazy.
Mhm.
And why don't you roast some broccoli in with it? Now, it's going to be a taco of purpose and attention there, but
Right.
we'll roast that, whatever veggies you're super into. You do
Hmm.
want to think, though, about the pace that everything cooks. So, for example, I actually really like roasted asparagus, but asparagus might get done too soon. It might be done too quickly for us with the
Everything.
onions. We might want to do the onions first and then come back. Hang on, I have stunt peppers. We'll come
Nice.
back to them in a second.
Hmm.
So
And then,
I'd say there are no rules. You want
mhm,
to do what you want to do.
right. Okay. And then another comment is, instead of shrimp, can we use other proteins? For example, like I
Sure.
guess
If
ground
if you
turkey, ground chicken.
Oh,
Sorry. Go ahead.
sure. Well, I mean, I think this is not the place for the ground meats. Ground
Hmm.
meats do the stovetop, but
Right.
how about you do some thin slices of chicken, chicken breast or chicken thigh? The
Hmm.
change I'd make to that, though, is I would cook those with the peppers from the start,
From the start.
right? We're not
Hmm.
doing the shrimp at the start because they're going to cook. They're going to turn
Very
into
fast.
little C's and they're going to be chewy and gross. But
Hmm.
chicken needs a little more time. So if you want to do some chicken, how about get one chicken breast, slice it nice and thinly, toss that in with the whole thing. I think you're
Hmm.
good to go there. I love that.
Perfect. Nice. And then
So,
somebody else asked, sorry, what
no,
about
keep
aluminum
going.
foil? Yeah, what about aluminum foil on the sheet pan to further save
Okay.
cleanup?
All right. So I have thought about this very hard because, like I
Hmm.
said, I'm super lazy, right? And I'm going to go ahead and just mince some garlic because we're going to use that for our seasoning.
Hmm.
So you could do the foil. I intentionally didn't do foil, and I line a lot of things with foil. And I'll
Hmm.
tell you why. I want to get that little yumminess where it sticks to the pan a little bit, right? It's
Hmm.
like if you're doing it stovetop, you would call it fond, but those little bits of yumminess that go in there,
Hmm.
that's, we want that. I kind of like that. But if you want to line the whole thing with foil, line the whole thing with foil. If you want to do this in an air fryer, do it in an
Air
air
fryer.
fryer. Yeah,
Hmm.
heck yeah. But I just want it to be simple. That's what I'm going for. And I'll
Hmm.
tell you, if you are getting garlic in a jar, no judgment here. All right. You got
Hmm.
to do what you got to do. So I don't want anybody to
Hmm.
feel bad about what they're doing. I think,
With their garlic.
yeah, I think people want to yuck your yum a little bit
Hmm.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm going to make our quick seasoning mixture, and you can pick this up however you want. I'm going to use some chili powder. Now, all of the whole recipe is on the Kitchen Studio website, kitchenstudiofrederick.com. It's in the from the kitchen section. And then I know that all the wonderful people over at AARP put it on, all of the directions are in the listing. This is a little dried oregano, but you can find this recipe. We have it lots of places for you. So I'm not going to get too knotted up. I will tell you, my husband seems to have gotten very sensitive to the cayenne, to the spice, which is breaking my heart a little bit. So I just skip that. I'm just going to skip that. I have a little bit of cumin. I love cumin. It's so versatile. Love it. And then if you're on a cardiac diet, right, if you're watching your salt, you can leave it out. You can cut it back. You can do whatever you think is best. So I've got chili powder, some fresh garlic, some oregano. You can put cayenne in there. I've got a little cumin, a little salt. You want to put some pepper. We are good to go there.
Nice.
Now, it smells so good.
Yeah, it must.
I love, and I have to tell you, every time I smell things, I'm like, yes, I'm still sniffing things. All right.
Same. Like, right? Okay, sense of smell is still here. Let's go.
I know it.
Yeah.
All right. So
I'm
going to take a little bit of vegetable oil, put it on my shrimp, and I'm going to take a little bit of vegetable oil, not a lot, and put it on my veggies. Then I'm going to split the seasoning between the two. Make it in one bowl. If you're doing this with chicken, just mix it and sprinkle the whole thing over at one time. Now check this out. I'm going to get in here. I'm just going to toss it together. A big sheet pan is nice because what a big sheet pan gives you is the ability to spread it all out. Food that's piled on each other, food that's, all in a big scrum, that's going to steam before it roasts. And that's not like, I want to take this little crispy bits.
Right.
So I've got that in there. And like I said, I just thawed the shrimp out by putting them in a bowl of cold water, put the bowl in the sink, about 15 minutes, and it was done.
Nice.
All right. I know. Good, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
looks
check
good.
this out. These are my stumped peppers. Don't they look good?
Wow, they look really good.
Yeah. So because we're using that high oven, it's sticking to the pan a little. See, I actually love that. So I'm going to get in. Now, this has been out for a couple of minutes. So if you just pulled it out, don't get too crazy on yourself. I'm going to take my shrimp and I went way too heavy on the shrimp.
No such thing.
I'll tell you that. My dog will be very happy today. Yeah. All right. So I might even take a little of that and pour it on there.
Perfect.
Because what's a cup of water when you're drowning, right?
Exactly. Yep.
So now you have options. If you want, you can pop it back in a 450 oven. But I remember how I said I like those brown bits so much. This is where you're going to turn your oven to broil. Okay. Now let's do this. I'm going to be really persnickety today because that's who I am now. All right. So when I'm broiling, I want to raise that shelf in the oven, that rack, because I like it to get close. I like it to get really close. And some people say to me, do you want this on low or high? I always want high. I would never waste my time using low. And I think this is, we'll say, the experienced woman in me. But when I was growing up a million years ago, my mom used to always leave the oven cracked. And I think what it was, whenever she would broil, because the oven almost couldn't handle the temperature. I think today's ovens totally can, but I'm in the habit. I leave it cracked. I don't walk away from it. Right. So if you're helping out with grandchildren or you have somebody in the house and it's a safety issue, leave it closed. You're going to be fine if you have a modern oven. But for me, I don't know why, I always leave the oven door just a little cracked. Yeah. And then it's like 2 or 3 minutes. We'll flip the shrimp, 2 or 3 minutes, and they're done. So that's how fast that goes.
Yeah, gotcha. Sorry. Amy Aguilar says this looks so yummy. Thanks, Chef Chris.
Amy Aguilar's the best. Love Amy. She's so good.
Hmm.
Amy is one of my bike buddies.
Oh,
Now,
nice.
well, Amy's like one of those Peloton hounds. She's delightful. But I just set up my own, we'll call it budget
Hmm.
Peloton. So, but she and I are doing things together. While we're waiting for this, I want to show you this real quickly because
Hmm.
I'm kind of in love with these.
Yeah.
These are now they're mission. So it is brand name. These are not the cute little tortillas that somebody's making in your town, which is so cool, but universally available. These are little like street taco size.
Mm.
And I think, I'll be honest with you, I mean, I'm going to throw down when it comes to food. This
Hmm.
size for me is perfection. I love it. And you have
Hmm.
options. If,
Agreed.
when you're getting ready to throw this in, if you want, you can sneak, and you're using the big pan, you
Hmm.
can sneak your tortillas in on the side, throw it in the oven. Now, not when we're broiling. When we're broiling, you don't want that. But
Hmm.
you can always throw them in right on the pan. Just tuck them in the corner. If you don't want to do it that way, you can always whoop, wrap them up in a little foil. I know my foil hound on here will be like, yes,
Yes, let's
get
go. Finally.
all the foil.
This is what we
So
like to see.
they don't need very long. And if you want, if you're feeling it, ooh, those shrimp smell delicious.
Hmm.
If you're feeling it, you can also wrap them in plastic wrap and just put them in the microwave for 30, 45 seconds on
Cool.
full power.
Nice. Carrie Levhurst says that I'm sure it is yummy and it looks like it's perfect proportions.
Yeah,
That's what.
I'm trying really hard because I'm used to cooking. I think a lot of AARP members, right, of which I am one, I think
Hmm.
a lot of AARP members are used to making bigger meals for more people. And
Hmm.
learning how to do this, I'll tell you, it's harder than I thought.
Hmm.
Because I mean, to me, I that's how I show love, right?
Right, right.
So, all right,
And
let me
it's
show
like,
you this.
yeah.
I've got a lime, and what I did was I didn't get all my anger out on the lime.
Hmm.
I just gently loved the lime because that helps break down the cell walls inside.
Hmm. Nice.
And this is just a little because I'm not going to go too crazy here.
Yeah, I just
And
want a
that
little
being,
zest.
yeah, and I'm going to use the juice, but I'm going to start
Hmm.
with half. And
Hmm.
I'm not doing salsa on these.
Nice.
Ooh, things I can hear things sizzling. I'm not gonna do salsa because with the fish, I don't know, I don't go that route. A little
Yeah,
pinch of salt, and when I say little, I mean that's little.
right.
And I just have a little sour cream. You can see I'm getting like, woo, I'm splashing. But the whole idea is that you kind of loosen up that sour cream, and I'm actually
Right.
using some white sour cream since I'm trying to wash myself. And let
I
me
hear you.
hang on,
Hmm.
grabbing from the fridge. I grabbed some queso fresco at the store
Nice.
today.
Oh,
I love it.
nice.
Do you ever use this, Adrian?
Yeah. Yep.
I
I
love
enjoy
it.
queso fresco. Hmm.
Okay,
It
hold
really
on.
makes a meal. Nancy
I
says
mean,
that she's probably gonna try this with chicken thighs. Wow, that looks great
okay, so if
with
you're doing
chicken thighs.
chicken thighs, I mean,
Hmm.
holy guacamole, look at that,
Wow, that
Pat
looks
Man.
so good though.
And look, I gotta tell you, those shrimp, those suckers are cooked through, baby. Look at
Yeah,
that. That is
it
ready to
looks
go.
so good,
Okay.
and they didn't
Oh my
lose so much
gosh.
size either.
Now
It
listen,
looks like
this
it's
is
jumbo.
where stuff gets real. No, these are large. These are just
Hmm.
large.
Okay.
This is where it gets. You do not want your shrimp. I showed you this at the beginning. The tighter the curl, the more overcooked they are. We want
Right.
a gentle C, like Chef
Hmm.
Chris, right? We want a
Nice.
gentle
Yeah.
C.
Hmm.
But once they start getting like, "Rah," stop, pull them out.
Hmm.
We don't need that. Okay,
Stop the
so
presses.
that's it. Shrimp people do things to shrimp that shrimp
Yeah.
shouldn't have done.
Hmm.
So queso fresco.
Hmm.
You can also get queso blanco,
Hmm.
and there are I think one brand of queso fresco right now under recall. It is not this one, so just pay
Hmm.
attention. But
Okay,
what
good to
I
know.
like about it is that it crumbles. it crumbles for you. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's super salty. This isn't a cheese you're going to put on a cheese tray. There's no
Hmm.
charcuterie board here.
Right,
Let
right.
me pull out.
This is the cheese you're gonna sprinkle on top. Joyce
Yeah.
says that this looks delicious.
And look how fast. Like
Hmm.
real time. I didn't measure anything out. Now I did put those guys in a little just so you guys wouldn't have to listen to me the whole time here. All right, hang on. Let's pull. Okay, check this out. I am not going to eat it on camera because that
Right.
is the least attractive thing that
I hear
you
you.
can do. But
Hmm.
oh my gosh, all those good veggies. And listen, I just think we want to show some real appreciation for Mexican culture, right? We want to, and
Hmm.
I don't even know if fajitas, I remember when they were called chahitas because they were from chichis.
Hmm.
But if you want, in your own home, if you want to go ahead and add different vegetables, if you want to do broccoli or asparagus or carrots or whatever your vibe is, do it at home and
Hmm.
then go find somewhere really fantastic once we're out of this and go eat, eat, eat. Now check this out. A little of
Hmm.
the lime crema, a little of that. And then if you
Wow.
want, you can do a little squeeze of lime on there. And the
Hmm.
reason I didn't put lime on the shrimp before we started to cook them, because sometimes I'll put a little lime to toss it with. And if you're doing chicken thighs, try
Hmm.
that. But any citrus juice is going to cook your fish. Ceviche, right, is when they take
Right.
raw fish and they toss it with the acidic citrus juices. So it
Hmm.
looks cooked, but that could help overcook your shrimp once we put them in the oven. So,
Nice.
ta-da!
Wow.
Lunch is ready. Look, and it's a
That
perfect
looks so
little
good.
size. And
Hmm.
you don't think about it, there are only 3 shrimp in there. It's ample.
Yeah, I can definitely eat 3 of those at
Yeah.
least in a row. So yeah.
Whatever, 4, it's
Hmm.
fine.
Yeah. It looks really
So there
good.
you
So
go.
can you get that? Can you get that shot one more time? That looks.
Yeah,
It looks
let me
really
give
good.
it to you. Oh, let me give you that taco love.
Wow.
Taco love, baby.
That looks good.
There it is. I know,
Worth
so good.
the what was that? Like 15 minutes to make?
Yeah, yeah. And if I wasn't running my mouth, it
Hmm.
would be even faster. I swear,
Oh
it
yeah.
is 15 minutes start to finish. It really is. But don't cut your peppers or your onions really thick. You don't want
Hmm.
to. You don't want those fat guys that you can do on stovetop. Because we're trying to cook it, we want them just a little bit thinner.
That sounds good. That
There you
sounds good to
go.
me. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Christine. I think this was a great demonstration. I think this is something I want to try literally tonight. Barbara Dillon says that she's gonna make that like with three exclamation points. She says, I'm gonna make that.
I
I
love
think I want to
that.
make it
Thank you,
too. It
Barbara.
looks great. It looks great, honestly. Well,
Simple.
thank you so much, Chef Christine. I really appreciate this. This looks A1. And again, the recipe link, I just put it in the chat, but it's on Kitchen Studio Frederick, right? .com.
Yep. I
Perfect.
just
And
put it up
it's
there
under
yesterday.
the from the kitchen tab. It's right on
It
top. I
is.
just I just looked it up myself. I just looked
Yep.
it up myself. It
Thank
looks great.
you.
Yeah, my
Dude,
pleasure.
you're
Thank you so
awesome.
much, Christine. Hey, I do what I can. I love the kitchen myself, so I'm always glad when I can hop on these. But thank you so much for your time, and I'm looking forward to this one.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
All right. See ya. Bye.
See ya.